All right, what is going on, everybody? Hope you are doing fantastic. Another blizzard, winter wonderland, whatever you want to call it here in Philadelphia. But today, guys, we are going to be talking about how to prevent Google Business Profile suspension in 2026. This is honestly just going to be the best step by step guide I can give you. And let's start here. So, I want you guys to imagine waking up today and your phone stops ringing. No calls, no clicks, no form fills, nothing. That's what happens when your listing gets suspended. And in 2026, I would reckon to say suspensions are happening faster than ever, and for reasons most business owners don't even realize. So, like I said, today I'm going to show you guys exactly how to prevent that from happening, how to stay compliant, and ultimately how to actually protect the visibility you worked so hard to build on Google. All right. So before I talk about like the X's and O's, I want to share with you guys why suspensions are happening. So Google has actually shifted from being a directory to being a trust engine. Obviously, you guys know. So what happens is they aggressively filter out fake locations, lead gen listings, pretending to be a business, right? Keyword spammed profiles, and then inconsistent business identity. So their goal at the end of the day is very simple. They want to show real businesses that customers can physically trust. Simple as that, right? So if your profile even has one mixed signal, you can get flagged, right? That's just the reality of it. Now, the biggest myth I hear, I'll have to admit, is my competitor is doing worse stuff. Why did I get suspended? Because this isn't manual enforcement anymore. It's algorithmic trust scoring. So Google doesn't compare you to competitors. It evaluates whether your business looks legit across the entire internet. So I see a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, Sean, this person's doing X, Y, Z. Why are they not suspended? Well, I would say if they're still doing that stuff, they're on the short list of getting axed, right? But again, it's an algorithmic based scoring system. It's not like they compare you to other competitors, right? So now you guys understand a little bit of the backstory. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of what you can do to actually prevent your business from being suspended, right? So, step number one, you want to have your business information match everywhere. This is the number one trigger I see. Your business name, address, phone number, your NAP needs to match exactly across 5 different things: your website, state records, utility bills, citations, and social profiles. Those 5, if you can have them be consistent, the name, address, phone number, across all those 5 domains, you're good. Again, if you write, and this is important to know, Suite B in one place and Suite 2 in another place, you've created doubt. It literally is that simple, right? So make sure at the end of the day, guys, you are being very consistent. Step number 2 is you want to stop keyword stuffing your business name. So in 2026, keyword stuffing is one of the fastest ways to get suspended. If your real business name is John Smith Plumbing LLC, but your business profile says John Smith Plumbing LLC, Emergency Plumber Philadelphia, you're going to violate the guidelines right there. So your name is going to have to reflect your legal, real world signage, your actual business name, nothing more, right? So that's step number 2. Step number 3, guys, is your address must be a real location. What do I mean by that? There is a lot of businesses that get into trouble with this. So you can't use a PO box, UPS store, co-working space without permanent signage, addresses where no one from your company is actually physically present, and a virtual office, unless, again, you have permanent signage. Because Google now verifies 4 different things to make sure this location is an actual legitimate location. Number 1 is Street View. What does it look like? Is it an office space? Is it a residential house? They do an eye check, right? Number 2 is data partnerships. So that's how they verify your existence. User edits. So if someone says, oh, this is an apartment complex, this is a residential house rather than a business, if someone actually puts a user edit into that, that's a red flag. And then number 4 is behavior signals, right? So if your customers can't show up and find you, you're certainly at risk. So just take that into consideration, right? Step number 4 is your website must reinforce legitimacy. So your website is no longer optional proof, it's validation. You want to make sure your site clearly shows these 5 things. Again, very simple. The same business name, the same address, local contact info, service area in which you do your business, and then photos of your real world. I'm going to say that again. These are the ways you can reinforce that your website is legit, right? Number 1 is the business name. Number 2 is the address. Number 3 is the local contact info. So obviously your phone number, email, right? Photos of your real work. So before and after photos, staff photos, whatever the case is, right? And then number 5 is a service area, kind of not a map, but just listing your service area. Where do you do your business, right? Thin websites or placeholders immediately kill trust. And they're a major player in why a lot of businesses actually get suspended after they've been reinstated, which is a huge problem, right? Step number 5 is verification signals are going to matter more now than ever, guys. So it's not just a postcard anymore, you get in the mail. Google's looking for a branded email domain. So if it's John Smith Plumbing, I would say john@smithplumbing.com rather than johnsmithplumbing@gmail.com, right? I would say real world documentation is number 2. So business license, tax documents, insurance documents, maybe utility, maybe an client invoice, stuff like that, right? Real world documentation. Consistent business history. So all the people you've served, that's very important, right? CRM, stuff like that. And then actual engagement for customers. So likes, comments, reviews, all that stuff is very important. Because profiles that look newly created really are, if they're especially barely used and constantly edited, they're actually far more likely to get reviewed rather than a business that is not doing these things, right? So take that for what it's worth. And then the one thing I guess I'll finally say is, step number 6, this is the last thing, is don't constantly mess with your profile. So a mistake I see agencies make all the time and a lot of business owners is they keep changing things. They change the categories, the name, descriptions, addresses, everything resets the trust signal then. So in 2026, you need to have authority. You need to have consistency, right? Very, very important. So that's pretty much it, guys. The biggest thing I would say is if you want to stay safe, follow this main checklist. There are 6 different steps, right? Use your real world legal business name, have a legitimate staffed location, keep your name, address, phone number identical everywhere online, build a real website that proves you exist, verify, and then avoid these unnecessary changes, right? And then focus on customer engagement, not shortcuts. So reviews, adding photos, stuff like that, right? Do this, and your Google business profile becomes an asset, not a liability. I can't guarantee it's not going to get suspended, but I as sure as hell will say there's a lot less likelihood you will be suspended from this. Cool. Well, guys, if you're unsure whether your listing is compliant, fix it now, don't fix it now, whatever it is, you want help reviewing this stuff, call me directly, 215-607-6482, as well as email me, sean@momentum.com. Guys, if this was helpful at all, drop a comment below, share this with another business owner who needs it at the end of the day, and like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much.